On this episode of the RSL Random Fan Podcast, we talk about our thoughts. We share our thoughts on the great play from RSL to come away with a point and a result, a well-earned result. And what else we talk about, Tyler?
We talked about who on RSL completed 100% of their passes. It's someone you wouldn't expect.
And Brennan?
We talk about our orange slices and those darn Azul guys, San Diego. We love them. But
how do they clear the ball off the line so many times?
Yeah, come on, Dua. Stupid. And what's up with
all
these?
that? I said all that and more. Find out what our big takeaways were from this game and enjoy. All right, another episode of the RSL Random Fan Podcast. I'm your host, Brandt Goebel, joined by Tyler, who is out of town. I'm out of town, and Brennan is home. Welcome, everyone.
Thanks for letting everybody know where we are. That's great.
Yes. Yeah. So if you are watching this live,
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm at the stadium. That's why I'm not home.
Yeah, you're practicing your new broadcasting job there at the stadium. So
yep.
It's not
that I could take DJ's place, but that would be an awesome job. Just to do one game with DJ, that'd be awesome.
Honestly, you look like a Twitch streamer right now. You know what I mean? Like, you should be playing some video games or something like that.
Yeah. All right. For this scene, we're gonna do this. Wow.
He looks like he rolls Tetris, right?
All right. Take the square.
Screen for Tetris.
Take the square. Just rotate it around. Keep rotating it.
You do look like you're a pro Tetris guy. That's true.
Did you guys watch that movie on Apple TV about Tetris?
Yeah, it's fascinating. Did you watch it, Brennan?
No, I didn't.
It's a documentary, kind of a pseudo documentary about how the guy invented Tetris, was a Russian, and they had to get it out of the Soviet Union.
Yeah, they had to black market import it. It was crazy.
It's pretty fascinating. So when you're not listening to this podcast, and we thank you for listening to the podcast, make sure you check out all these interesting documentaries. And if you want more documentaries, we can tell you, if you want a really, really good documentary, go watch Man on Wire. That is a good one. But while you're doing that, hit subscribe, and wherever you get your social media, wherever you get your podcast, subscribe to us, like, share, do all that, make some comments, tell Brennan, annoy Brennan, and tell him how great a job he does. Doesn't need to improve anywhere.
Just tell him how amazing he is. He loves it.
No,
yeah, it drives him.
I want all the.
I know, it drives him nuts. All right, so starting lineup, RSL went down to San Diego, where they had some great success. No RSL players were knocked unconscious this year, which is
I know. Isn't that great?
Yeah, that was quite the thing. So starting lineup, same as the week before. Cabral in goal, and across the back you had Quinton, Glad, Engel. And then you got your two wing backs, Gozo on the right, Sanabria on the left. And the guy that is making it really hard to get him out of the lineup, Aiden Hezerkani, Griffin Dillon, and Noel Kaliskan, and Guy Lavogie over there on the left, and Sergei Solans up top to start against a very, very, very good San Diego team.
So who's making it hard for them to not be in the starting 11?
Aiden Hezerkani.
He's doing okay, but he got subbed out early.
He did.
Yeah, he did get subbed out at halftime, but there's a little consternation, or they're kind of happy. He's like, hey, we've got a guy there, because out of the two or three young guys, he's the one that's really solidified, whether it's starting or being probably first guy off the bench when needed. But Zach? Which booth? Tyler?
Taylor
Booth. And Luka Moisa had a good start, but Aiden Hezerkani's got the one with all the miss. And Griffin Dillon's come in, and they like what he's doing. A little bigger presence, a little more defensive there in the middle.
Yeah, and Booth didn't make the trip, so
yeah.
Didn't they get called up though? Moisa and somebody else got called up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Moisa, Hezerkani, Sanabria.
Oh yeah, Juanma. He got the call up to Uruguay. That's Uruguay for those of you that don't habla español.
It sounds
Woo!
like somebody speaks Chilean Spanish. Is that what it was?
Uh, yep, yep, Chilean Spanish. That's why I'll never say Uruguayo like the Uruguayans and the Argentinos, right?
All right, so RSL got off to a pretty good start. You guys want to talk about that real quick? Because 17th minute, I thought RSL came out and they put the pressure on.
I thought we were gonna score in like the first 2 minutes. Man, we were going right at them, and I was like, oh, we were playing direct. We were going right at these guys. Remember last year they had the Mick brothers in the Mick back, McVeigh, and I forgot the other guy because he's gone. His name is McNeil, I think. But now they started off with a new guy, a young guy, an up and coming guy who looks like Olatunji's little brother, basically. Let's just call him that. He looks like Olatunji's little brother, right?
He
Little bit
kind of
of
does do it.
predator. Dua. Yeah.
Dua.
Dua. It's a cool name. But we got to start with the Gozo play. Gozo Salons, both in behind. Gozo's like, get out of the way, dude. You're offside by a mile. Right? So he's kind of like, get out of the way, bro. And then all of a sudden, Gozo's just like down on the ground. And the ref is like, huh, interesting. If he was an all-star, if that was Messi, I would have called a penalty. Too bad it wasn't. So play on.
All right, so what are you guys' thoughts on this play? Is it a penalty? Where do you stand? We'll just jump into all the controversy right away.
Yeah, I think easy PK. Because number one, it's from behind. Number two, didn't touch the ball. Nowhere near the ball, really. Pulled on his arm and he kicked him in the back of the thigh or calf. Take your pick, or both, right? I'd say easy red card, easy PK. Shouldn't have been any question. And I bet when we go listen to the guys that are calling him down to the monitor, they're like, yeah, bro, you missed that. And then he gets there and he's like, no, he barely glazed his leg. I think he was Irish. He looked Irish. Anyway,
He was Irish.
You
barely
don't think he was
glazed his
Irish, yeah?
leg. I don't know. Probably not, but
And
that's my he's like, no, it's not clear and obvious. Well, it's clearly obvious that he pulled him back in the box, and it's clearly obvious that the legs made contact. And so I don't know how that's not a red card and a sending off. It seems super clear to me. And then even the commentators, though, they were like, I you never know what's a penalty anymore. And that's Taylor Twellman, right? He usually is like, give it to him. Give the attacking player the advantage, which is what we should do by default. And here we are, nothing.
Brennan, what are your thoughts?
Um, I don't know. This game kind of brought a lot of uncertainty. It feels like I don't know what is right and wrong anymore with soccer. Like there's a couple of times you're just like, that should have been a penalty, no? And they're like, no. It's like the dude in the VAR says it is, but the guy on the field doesn't want to change his call. And then there's some other stuff that happens, and it's like, I want there to be a little bit more black and white in this and just a little bit more clarity. But in my opinion, I think it's definitely a penalty. It needs to be. There's too
Yeah,
many penalties, too many red cards that have happened across the league that were softer, and
Yeah,
just a little bit more consistency, man.
I
yeah, I
agree.
think it comes down to human nature, and sometimes I don't know if they mean to have a bias against the younger players, but it's across every sport, right? Unless you're a superstar coming into the league, any league, there is maybe it's a subconscious bias that the player hasn't earned it yet. I don't know if that's the case there. If you look at it initially, I can see where he doesn't call it a foul,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it's one of those plays. We'll just jump into both controversial plays here, but I think it's one of those plays where if they call a penalty and they go to the monitor, how do they overturn it? Because
Yeah,
it's
there's
on
no
that.
way to
There's
overturn
a
it.
couple of views like on the back where you can see his was it Dua? His
Yeah.
left leg goes through the back of um Gozo's leg as he's trying to make a cut to the ball. And I think if they had called a penalty, it would have been upheld. And if they didn't call a penalty, like we saw, it comes down to interpretation. But for me, 9 times out of 10, I think that's a penalty.
See, that's what I don't get. I think that's how VAR should rule a lot of things instead of making it like, oh, it has to be clear and obvious or you have to whatever. It's like, okay, if it was called, would it stand? I think that's a great argument for VAR to be like, okay, if we called this on the field, do we have any evidence to say that it's not true, like it's not a penalty? And we would be set. Because I think that happens a lot. Like there's questionable yellow cards or those orange cards, like is it a red, is it a yellow? I think if we did that flipped on the other side, we'd probably get a lot of better calls from on the field.
Yeah, and
Yeah, if you
if that
watch,
was Anders Dyer in the box and
Oh,
we were
dude, they would
doing
have
that to
given
him,
him so
easy.
freaking quick.
Straight red, done, gone. But
Yeah,
because
don't
it's
don't.
or
Gozo,
or if it's Diego Luna, maybe same thing, right? Diego Luna's probably a step above Gozo in
or maybe they were saying,
respect.
hey, Luna was clearing space with his arm and he made contact with Dua, so we're not gonna call the what Dua did back as a retaliation. I could maybe see that, but to have no explanation and just be like, no foul on the play, that's dumb.
Yeah.
There's definitely a ton of contact in the box. He's breathing on goal. Like, really? No foul on the play? That's no explanation. The whole
Yeah,
point was to have an explanation,
if
right?
you watch instant replay with Andrew Wiebe, and I still miss the guy before him. Uh, See
Simon
you next
Burrow.
time.
See you
See
next
you next
time. I'm
time.
Simon Burrow.
Yeah, I loved him. So I think I lost my train of thought, but they agreed that it was. He agreed that it was a penalty, and there would also if you watch in the instant replay, you're talking about teams, players getting calls. There was a stomp in the LAFC Austin game where it looked just like the red card that Peel got last
Right.
year,
Hmm.
where he went for the ball and missed the ball and just kind of stepped on the ankle of
Oh yeah,
as they
in
were
the back.
both going for the ball.
Hmm.
And then
But
the referee has to judge force, right? So if it was
yeah,
like a step on you, oh, sorry, not a lot of force there,
Yeah, it's straight
yellow.
red though.
But if it's like forceful, red. What? And remember the Dallas game when Peel got, yeah, and the Dallas guy brought the power. So it shouldn't have been Peel's fault because he just stepped. The Dallas guy brought all the power into that play. So I mean, there is still a
but
bit of discretion here.
LAFC guy, he was the one that did the stomp. He gets the yellow orangish card
Hmm.
and not the red.
Yeah.
So it that's just kind of human nature the way it is. And if we jump to the second controversial call, and that was the handball in the second half, or not handball with Justin Glad. Brennan, why don't you
What?
what are
Okay,
your
yeah.
thoughts?
What is a handball anymore? Like, what is it? It's like, does it have to be like we're in the mood for a handball? Because from my experience, if it smacks your hand, it's a handball. Like it's pretty obvious. But now we're doing this thing. It has to be in a natural position, but yet they can't explain a natural position for a handball. Like, what is legitimately a natural position? Because if it's this, like we're running like this,
No,
he hit it like this. Like his arm is out. Like, yeah, it's kind of natural. He's running, but in my mind, I see that as a handball. Like if I am the other team, I want that to be a handball because it is so blatantly a handball and it's so far away from his body. Like I am so lost on what a handball is. Like it's honestly dealer's choice now. You know what I mean? Like it's an in-house thing, like depends on who's betting, what's going on, and if the ref
right?
is feeling, that way. Like it doesn't
So
make any sense.
look, for me, it's like this. If the ball's going towards goal at all,
Oh, I love your point like this. Yeah.
then we're fine. That's a handball. Call it a handball. But this guy is falling down, lunging, kicking the ball. The ball's not going anywhere near the goal. It's not going to a teammate who's breaking in on goal. It's going into the air. This is why we got rid of the stupid just kick it into their hand rule. and now it's a penalty. We don't want this call in soccer. We do not want this call because all you do is get into the box and kick it at somebody's hand. Oh, penalty. I'm good at scoring goals because I can hit this guy's arm. We don't want that in soccer, in my opinion. And to me, that falls perfectly into this if you rewatch it and watch the way that he like lunges. He's trying to pass it to somebody, but it would be a miracle if that pass got through. I'm pretty sure he was trying to kick it into his arm.
Yeah, I am more on the fence on this one than the first one. Um, I've watched it like, 75 times like everybody else. And the
Is
more I
that
watch it, the
it?
more, yeah. And I think I agree with Tyler. Kind of agree with him. 9 times out of 10, that just gets called though. It just depends on the mood of the ref, I think. The
Mm-hmm.
ball goes in, he sent it into the box. I think Justin Glad hand is not necessarily in a natural position. I think it's way out. It's too far away, like Brennan
What?
says.
Are
I
you
don't
watching
think
him run? He's running. He's pushing the guy
I
with
But
one hand. Your other
I
arm
think his
has to
arm is
go up to
way out
balance
there.
you.
And I think I don't want players to necessarily be running with their hands behind their back. But also, they're in the box. I don't think that they should be able to get away with impeding uh, a ball. And we're making it complicated. It's better than, just hitting their hand. But at the same time, the thing that I'm fine with it not being a handball, besides it being on RSL, but is that he's not going towards goal. I thought about that when I finally watched it again on. I see that he's sending the ball straight across, trying to cross it.
Yeah, he's trying to
Which
cross it to Pellegrino, who's not really there yet. Like he has to make a
yeah.
run to get where the ball could be going. Yeah, it's hope. It's a hopeful ball at best.
But on
You
this
know what I
one,
mean?
yeah, if he calls it a penalty, it's not even going to VAR. VAR is not going to go, hey, that's maybe
Yeah, that's
you
not a
sure?
handball. Yeah.
Yeah, you sure you want to I think his arm was in a natural position. I don't think they're just going to go, yeah, it's a handball. So I think RSL maybe had a little bit of luck and got away with one there. And I'm
was it?
happy for that because I think
I don't know
they
why they called him down. Clear and obvious. I mean, he saw it hit his hand. So why
Yeah,
did
but
they
also you
call
got to
him
say
down to the
too.
monitor?
Well, you also got to say
because
too. He's not using his hands to interact with the ball whatsoever. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, he's
even if he's not in a natural position, it's not like he's making himself bigger with his hands. He's in a stride, whatever. His hand
and
got
he's not blocking the goal. You know what I
no.
mean?
But
And
that's
he's
what I'm saying.
not.
Like this handball stuff is so annoying. Like it
I
just
agree.
doesn't like they're changing it up. Like what did they say? Now the sleeve or whatever, if it touches your sleeve, it's not a handball, even if you make it bigger or something. I don't know. It seems like every year they're trying to make adjustments instead of just making it a little bit clearer.
Well, when I was coaching youth soccer, I would go up to the ref and I was like, hey, a lot of my girls use their shoulder, and I want to know because they're not allowed to head, because they're little kids. And some of my kids would use their shoulder. And I was like, at what point are you going to call a handball? And I would take a ball and I would put it on my neck and I would say, here? What about here? What about here? What about here? Because it's supposed to be your jersey and the cut of it, right?
Mhm.
But most refs will call a handball if you shoulder it. Like they just will. I think it's just default. But you know,
Yeah, but that's also
it,
that's like old generation. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
it was so strict, what, 10, 15 years ago. Like if
that's all you would call, right?
yeah,
Oh, it hit his hand, stop. All right, everybody stop.
yeah, it wouldn't matter what it was. It could nick your pinky and you're like, okay, handball. It's penalty. Go.
Yep. Which I don't think we want those days back either, right? So I think
No.
this is better than that. But
Well,
yeah, I think
RSL
yeah,
it's
definitely
so
got away with it.
yeah, well,
good.
that he did not call the handball. So
No.
VAR called him down to look at it. They're going, hey, it's a handball. So obviously there was a question there. And that'd be really interesting to see to listen to that conversation of why he stuck with his initial call,
Yeah, I
why he
think I heard
thinks
him
it's,
say natural position when he was kind
yeah.
of unmicing himself.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he said that. He said it. He said the excuse was a natural position. Yeah.
So,
Actually, an
so
explanation. Look at that. Woo, he's getting
Weird.
better. Although I think he had a rough game overall. Sorry, we're bagging on the ref and talking about all the controversial plays, but he was calling 50-50 things their way, and then like some things that looked like a total wipeout, he was like, play on. I was like, I don't know what this ref's looking for. But and
well,
it I don't know if he ruined the game either by doing that. He was a little sporadic, but it was such a good game overall that I don't think it ruined it for me.
no, I don't think it ruined it at all. I thought that um, one of the, I think maybe a lot of the game, especially in the second half, I think spastic was the term I thought of. The game was just
Yeah,
kind of, it was just kind of
kicks out of bounds,
all over
misses,
the place.
what passes to nobody.
Yeah, people, RSL was really spread out. Let's talk about Cabral for a minute in this game. San Diego did a great job putting pressure on the RSL back line. And so I think it's the first time we've seen where Rafa, I don't know if he looked human, but San Diego was really high on the press and they really put some pressure um, on our back line. And I don't know if, especially in the second half, it looked like we were so spread out and the RSL, where was the RSL midfield was my question. And it's the first time I've ever seen that I can remember where Rafa had nearly had two passes picked off by a San Diego player that went out
Yeah,
and
yeah, they must have done their homework on him wanting to pass hard left because each time he did that, they jumped it and almost got there, right?
as people have pointed out, maybe he doesn't have maybe he needs to work on his left foot like Gozo did over the summer. But he also sent a couple of them. He was frustrated he didn't have an outlet, and he just sent him out of bounds for a throw in.
Yeah, yeah, or a couple of those too, but that's on your team. That's not on Rafa, right? If the guys aren't there, it's better to put it out and reset and, you know, readjust. But it was interesting that we didn't have as much possession. In fact, in the first half, we had very little possession. Overall, it was like 60-40, which I, I,
Yeah, didn't we have in like the first half we had like 25% possession or something
yeah, it was not a
crazy?
lot at all.
But the transition game is working for us really, really well. Like when we're on offense, we're definitely not worried about defense. One thing that was really special that I really enjoyed was Sergey Solans, dude. This guy keeps just impressing and like he has some serious consistency for not being in the league. Like that guy is a threat to the back line like every single touch. This guy is getting behind people. He's big. He's just I can't get enough of this guy, and it makes me like it's like making Olatunji act like what's his name from 2 years ago we sold to Dallas.
Oh, Julio?
Julio. Anderson Julio. It's almost like Olatunji is gonna get put in as just a sub. Like it's like he's so good at the start of this game. Every game so far.
Yeah, I really, really loved him. I think he's been I mean, there's been a few times he's given the ball away, but that seems to be what our strikers do. But the key is, can we put you in front of goal and you kick it in past the goalie, right? Obviously, that's the key, most important part of how you should judge a striker, not how good of a passer they are. But sometimes that does happen. But I loved when the ball gets wide to Juanma. I get so excited. He's like he's gonna put it on somebody's head and he
Mm-hmm.
and he put it into space, and Solans attacked it, and his defender stood and went to jump. You have to go to the ball and attack it, and he did. Glancing header. That is not an easy play for anyone who's never played striker. That is hard to do. You have to hit the ball with the proper force to not smash it all the way past the bar, and that takes some serious skill to finish the way he did and with that hair too, like because his hair might have gotten his eyeballs, and it might have changed the trajectory of the ball
You
just
don't
a
know what
little
you're talking
bit.
about.
Okay, fine. I don't know what I'm talking about with the hair.
Maybe your
Fine,
eyebrows. Who knows? I'm just kidding.
fine, fine.
You gotta
Yeah,
comb your
that
eyebrows.
that that was an absolutely stunning goal.
And his hair looked cool when it happened. That was my real point there, honestly. His hair looked cool when he whipped it. Almost as cool as Chicho's did that one time with the man. Never mind. Stupid Chicho.
We don't bring him up anymore.
His rooster,
He who
his
shall not be named.
rooster cut. There's got
That was
for
freaking
Chicho.
cool though with his hair when he did that and he scored against the LAFC that time. Anyway,
Hey,
but yeah. Keep it up,
staying with
Sergey.
salons
Yeah.
and talking about talent and being creative and having some confidence on the RSL's second goal. Did you see him try to do the little flick? If
I
you watch, if you watch the highlight, you can see him as he's diving, trying to catch the ball with a back heel out of the air. He misses it, but you can see the thought, and the ball bounces through and finds Olatunji, who had his own cheeky back heel. Did you see that? The one
oh,
he
not
looked
on
like
the
he was.
goal. You're talking about when he
No, before
missed.
the goal. On the goal, I
Oh,
think the
yeah.
goal is nice. It hits him in the leg, hits him in the thigh, and it goes in. So that's
Inner
fantastic.
thigh.
He's
Okay.
in the right place at the right time.
He went to bat, if you know what I mean.
Oh boy, he really hit a home run.
But on that back heel when they're in front of the goal, their goalkeeper is good too. He stood on his head. We've gone against two the last couple of weeks. Stuver, who stood on his head against us, and then this game where their keeper was standing on his head. Where Olatunji, the ball's right, and it looks like he's looking like he's trying to play like he doesn't know what he's doing, and he has a little back flick that almost goes in.
Yeah, they
That way,
cleared three of them off the line. We could have
Dude,
had five.
Dua was blocking some shots, man. He was the second goalie this game.
I know, it was nuts. Did you know what our expected goal total was?
Don't care.
Brennan?
Stupid. It's the stupidest stat ever.
Our
Seven.
expected goals was 3.5. We should have been 4, dude. They were so lucky to keep that game a tie, I think.
well, both of them. The one it could have been like a 4-4, 4-5 game.
Yeah.
It was really really good. That one where Cabral came out. I think it was Dreyer was one on one with him,
Oh, yeah.
and he gets his big arm out there and gets Tyler Twellman super excited. If you watch the highlights and watch the game, Tyler was like Taylor, excuse me.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I was not
Taylor.
excited. I mean, I was excited about that. That was cool that he saved
They're
it.
like, whoa, that was a brilliant save. So, um,
But kind of over to their side, there, you know how sometimes you watch the other team and you're like, I could really use that dude on our team. There were a couple guys on their team I just didn't like, right? Like, I don't know if he's their Kyle Beckerman or whatever, but I think Inge Vartson, I don't know how that guy did not get a yellow card. Tried to do just about everything to get a yellow card in this game. He was kicking people, pushing people. And between him and Tverskov, I thought for sure they were going to have, you know, some sort of a yellow. No, neither one. It's McVeigh that ends up with 2 yellows and he's out. So I didn't see what happened on that yellow card either. But I thought there were 3 guys on their team that were just being kind of punks, you know, and now, I don't know. Maybe
I didn't
Valakari
see
a
the
little bit
first
too,
one.
but
I didn't see the first yellow with McVeigh.
they said it
That was it.
happened during the goal, the second goal. So whatever happened after that second goal, he mouthed off to the ref and he yellow carded him. So both of his yellow cards were within a few minutes of each other.
The second one is when Gozo got the ball and flicked it up to a Caliscan, and McVeigh came across and knocked him down and got the second yellow.
Yeah, and he
But
could have been away on that, so I think it was stopping a promising attack. That was an obvious yellow.
one thing, San Diego is really good. They're fun to watch. The fans have to be really excited to watch an exciting team like that goes forward all the time. And they don't. I didn't see much gamesmanship. I mean, there's gamesmanship in the game. You want your team, if they're ahead, they've earned the right to kind of stall out the game at the end, but it was a lot better than Austin. I didn't, the way Austin was playing, trying to work the ref the week before, that to me is annoying, but I didn't see that from San Diego, and they just get up and play ball. That's how they got the second goal. What about we talk about their goals real quick, the breakdown?
Mm, their goals bug me so bad. The second one was really the Andrews Dryer. That's the one that bugged me like immensely because that could have been stopped so much. Like that could have been easily put away. We pay attention. You see like Glad go, "Oh, don't worry guys, sorry I messed up." But then they're like, "Dude, we're in the counterattack and you guys are like jogging back." Like, did you not recognize that how many numbers they had?
That was
That
weird, huh?
was that was a flub. That was such a flub. And it was a great
Yeah.
finish, but I think that Anders Dreyer guy, I think he's on my hate list. Like he
He's
bugs
that
me.
good.
I don't even know if he's that good. He just he got under my skin. I don't know.
Well, and on the first goal, it was a free kick. It wasn't much of a foul. There were a couple of
Oh,
those.
that one made me mad because that I'll take that back. San Diego did get a few of those cheap fouls, as I'm thinking about it. So check that. You know what? I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to gamesmanship because you just jog my memory. That
But at
when
least they weren't like kicking the ball out of bounds and
yeah,
doing
yeah.
that kind of stuff. I think that's
I
what
think you were
does
right.
me the
That
most.
it wasn't a foul because I was watching the game at the break. There was a few fans that came out on Sunday to watch the game, and it was kind of annoying. And I thought, oh man, that wasn't
Sorry.
a foul. And they
Sorry.
sent it in, and the ball bounces off Cabral, who's in the right spot, hits him in the chest, and then
Yeah, like the
Oh,
neck
I hit
almost,
it in the
right?
face. No, it was
Yeah,
like on the top of the head. Then it bounced down and it bounces off Guy Lavogie. And then if Quinton doesn't touch that ball, it goes out.
yeah,
right.
it
But
Quentin
it
just moved his
ricocheted.
foot.
yeah, his
It,
reaction was to put his foot behind it and it goes in. Like that was, it felt like it was one of those like switch of moments, like where we had a moment to score, we didn't get it. They got their random moment, but it went in. That
and
was a tough one to watch.
Yeah.
let's talk about that real quick because I know he was trying to get to the ball, but when I'm watching it, I'm like, get in position, right? Shouldn't he have kind of like turned and got his right there on the line to kind of defend the line, the goal line? It seemed like he had an opportunity where he could have turned and got had a little bit better position to kind of kick to play defense, and he was just kind of
Well,
like watching the game, and that's why he was faced that way, and it came in and dinked off his leg. But if he turned 180 degrees and was facing out and helping Cabral, maybe it's different. But Brennan's absolutely right. If he doesn't go off of him, it's going out of bounds.
there's another thing that was kind of a play on this goal, and maybe soccer purists like myself, like you
You're
make
a
that
purist?
line. I think
You're a
so.
soccer purist?
I think so.
That's we need to change our podcast
The
to the
soccerpurists.com.
random fan with the soccer purist.
Okay, fine. Maybe I'm a purist, maybe I'm not, but I love a good line. So when they set
I
up the
love a
line,
good line.
right?
A
They
good
set it
white
up.
line. You know what I mean?
You're at the 18. Take a step one way. Like they're trying to do all these things, and Arsenal's really good at it, right? They run players that are offside back to try to pick people off. And maybe it's a foul, maybe it's not. Maybe the ref calls it, maybe he doesn't, right? That's kind of the new phase of play. But if you don't have a line when the ball's kicked, and somebody goes too soon, it screws up everybody else's mark. And that's exactly what happened on this play. Angle went early to try to be the hero because that's always what happens. Hero ball here, right? And he goes early and he gets in Cabral's way so he doesn't see the ball coming, right? So it it's kind of a weird play, of course, right? It gets whipped in by Dryer, who is left-footed. Angle tries to come over to get in the way, misses it. It hits the back of somebody's head, and then falls to Valakari.
Well, yeah. So
Just
like
weird.
the
Ping,
thing
ping,
with
ping,
Quentin
ping.
though, the Quentin's not supposed to really cover the goal line in that situation because at the beginning of the set piece, yeah, he'll cover back post, stand on the goal line, whatever. But that ball has been jumbled around a little bit, so he doesn't know if he should go forward to set the line or if he should stay back. So he's kind of floating in that no man's land.
But I mean, Angle and Quentin were both there, which is, yeah, I guess who's assigned to do that, right?
Yeah,
To
and
take those sides, and
it's
they
just the
they were
natural
there.
collapse of them going with the set piece, going to the ball. Everybody collapses in over where the ball is. But it was an unfortunate event that went their way, you know. But I,
Jeez. Yeah, he was shooting to the other side of the goal.
yeah,
Gilavogi blocks it. Then it hits Quentin. Then it goes in. So yeah, of course, like that's just so lucky on San Diego's part.
that's what happens when you put a ball in chaos. Sometimes it goes your way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's RSL was wont to do that all last season. I remember every other game was like send the ball in, send it in, send it in, and they would just dribble to death. And this season, it doesn't seem like that's an issue because the talent level seems to have been ratcheted quite a bit up, and the soccer IQ on a lot of these players is as high as it's ever been for this club, and it's really fun to watch. I'm could not be more surprised and happy.
Well, it's a
I
new
thought,
standard. You know what I mean? It's a new
yeah.
standard across the board, and they're holding everybody accountable, which they should. But
And that's fine. We can tie good teams on the road. We can go to Vancouver and lose by one, and that seems like a moral victory. But so far, our loss and our tie have been against the two best teams from last year in the West.
And it
So,
was 1-0, and might have been different if we had got that red card call that we deserved
or
in
true.
Vancouver.
like when Goza went for that bike, like yeah, bro, get on that
That
bike.
goes our Gilavogi because didn't Gilavogi had a bike in this game?
Yeah, Gozo went for it right before half. That's the one I was thinking of. And then it kind of bounced around, and then Angle had a good shot that just, their defender stuck his foot out. And that kind of highlight reel to me encapsulated the game, that corner. Because Hezerkane takes the corner. It's a good corner, but it gets kind of cleared out. Gozo goes for the bike. It flips around. Engel goes for a shot. It was a great shot. It was probably going to go in. Keeper wasn't going to know anything about it, but it hits the last defender there and trickles out. So,
Sanabria had a similar shot out there on the left where he had a good chance to beat the keeper, nearly beats him, but he gets down and makes a save. It was a rocket. But what about thoughts on Gilavogi in this, especially in this game, and then overall, he had multiple times as he just snake bit. He just got to get used to scoring again. And there was one or two were straight at the keeper, where the second one was straight at the keeper. We could have kind of gone after the 5 hole, but he did take a touch, and he has been a little bit better at the players we've had seem to make up their minds a little bit quicker. And when we do that, they seem to be more successful. He let the ball run in front of him when he had a chance to take it first time in the box. And it looked like he was trying to make up his mind what he wanted to do, and it ended up blasting at the keeper. But
well,
Gila Vogie is amazing.
for all the kids listening out there, make sure that you take a touch and have a shot. That's the mentality. That's what you want to practice when you're a kid. Take a touch,
That's
have a shot.
yeah,
Take a
the
touch, have a
MLS
shot.
mentality. And that's why
And
the MLS isn't as good as all those other leagues. You shouldn't have to take a touch and put it through the goal. You need a one time it like your Van Persie or your Rooney. You know what I mean?
I mean,
You
that's
need
next
to have
level,
that
right?
magic touch from the get-go.
Right. Yeah. And so work on that. But when you're a kid, take a touch first and then have a shot. And that's because you want to make sure it's on frame. You don't want to just go in and whack at it because you're swinging, your legs long. It may or may not even hit the ball right. Like take a touch, have a shot. Like almost
You know,
always, that's what you
and
want to
that's
do.
good advice if you want to be a center back for Hunter High School. You know, if you wanna peak in high school, take that touch. Don't
Hey,
try
all of
to.
my goals were from penalty kicks, man. I didn't take a touch and have a shot and score a single time in high school. So
Just playing, just playing.
Well, I think on this one, it was a lovely pass, and he had the opportunity. He was rolling perfect weight right in front of him, and he could have smashed it first time. It wasn't like it was zipping in there, and he looked like he was between two minds and took a touch, and
and
didn't work
hit the
out.
goalie with it.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
You know,
I think one of these times he's just gonna score a banger and we'll be like, whoa, there it is. And then
yeah,
it'll
I don't
be
I don't think we can be that harsh on him yet. I
oh
think
no, no.
he's earned to be in that position to take that shot on a lot of these.
hmm
And the fact that he's keeping it on frame is more important than the fact that he's missing.
yeah.
Because
I
he's
love
going to get
the
exposed in those areas more and more and more, and he's going to get on a hot streak, you know?
he's like a silent assassin, and I'm really excited to see what having Gila Vogie and Olatunji on the pitch at the same time, because Olatunji, he is a baller, um,
He's a nuisance.
poacher,
He's a
nuisance.
nuisance to the other team.
And if you got a guy like him with some size and a physical presence, you can send all kinds of balls into the box, and he's gonna find it. And I love the thought of Gila Vogie, Gozo, Hezarkani, Luna, having the ability to send the ball into the box, and for the defenders to have to worry about somebody like Olatunji, because that's going to open up space behind him for everyone else.
Well, you got to think like we have such a unique attacking ability right now. Like if you look at Gozo, you can't really put anybody with him on a different team. Like on a different team, who plays like Gozo right now? And then you go with Hazard Khani, who is another option that plays differently. He's not afraid to take the skills and use them. Then you got Olatunji, who's completely different. Guy Lavogi is incredibly unique for this league. Like all of our attacking threats all have some sort of unique way of getting the ball in a dangerous position, and it's so exciting right now.
Isn't that cool too? Right?
Oh,
Like
dude,
as a
it's so
fan, you're
nice.
like, sweet, do something cool, you know? We would always say that joking around in the stands, like punching each other. Like, dude, do something cool, you know? And just because sometimes our attack was so stagnant and it kind of has been a little bit here and there. But I think that's amazing. The attacking prowess that we have at this point definitely is making the games more exciting this year than they were last year.
Yeah.
And I don't know that anybody that watched the team over the last 18 months would have expected that front office to hit it out of the park like this year. Because the last year, they were grabbing at straws. It seemed like you had Forster Ajago and Ron Cruz, who looked like he had some talent. Ron Cruz might have been, man, on this roster, that'd be really fascinating to look at. And then you got Diogo, who whatever he was doing. So there was a lot of there
Well,
there wasn't a
That's a
lot
fun
of
way to
like
say it.
go
Whatever he was
yeah
doing.
I
going
think
into this season in the FO from the front office. I didn't have any reason to be filled with confidence that the first 5 games would look like this. Go ahead, Brennan.
well, what I was saying, so like Pablo is all about the mental side, and it's about his like I guess his philosophy of being this certain individual with characteristics that he likes. And in order for that to work, it cannot have any thorns. And this just literally goes to show how big of a thorn Diogo was for their overall team's growth. Because a lot of these pieces were here with Diogo, but if that number 10 position isn't being going above and beyond, this whole team suffers dramatically. So being able to get like kudos to the front office or the owners to be able to get rid of such a really just an anchor of a piece, just slowing such a unique team down.
Well, and it was interesting how people would talk about him too. They would say like, oh, he's got so much skill and talent. I hope to be able to, get some of that from him, but never like, oh yeah, he's such a great teammate and I really love that guy. And, it was always like, oh man, he's got so much skill and he's got this and that. But
You should see him at practice.
yeah,
Yeah. I
yeah,
mean,
that
that's
was
just
the bottom
corporate
line,
talk,
right?
though. You know what I mean? That's CEO talk, trying to make sure we're looking for the positives and everything.
And that's
No,
why
it's
I think
teammates
Pablo,
too, right?
yeah, that's why Pablo and Schmidt have come out and just said, we focused on character. We wanted to bring in character guys. And so far it's working. So far it's working. Second half of the game, I thought it was interesting. The first part of the second half, I thought San Diego kind of had us there for a while. RSL was really stretched, which even after Luna came in, it looked like Luna was coming back to the ball and trying to get the ball. But there was a lot of the time in the second half where the game was really calling out for RSL to grab the ball and hold on to it instead of panic and pass it and turn it back over to San Diego. For that, there's like 15, 20 minutes, it felt like, where I was just like, get the ball. And San Diego was putting the pressure on, and there was a massive hole in the middle of the field where the RSL wasn't at.
Mm. Yeah, I can see that. I'm not a huge fan of Griffin Dillon. I right at the moment, I'm not seeing what's putting him on the field. Like I'm not seeing why he's on the field. Um, I guess Pablo Ruiz is out or something like that, right? He wasn't in the squad. I really like I keep going back to Moisa just because I feel that the only thing that hinders him is the fact that he's so young. Like you're not like it's
And
hard
little.
to gamble with that. But when you see what Griffin Dillon does compared to what Moisa does, Moisa stops a lot of attack because there's a little bit more possession on the ball when he's in. There's a little bit more like calm in that center field to where he has that extra 1 to 2 seconds to distribute the ball and we maintain that those 2 seconds are buying us time instead of taking time away from us, where Griffin Dillon is almost in too much of a hurry. And I don't think that like our teammates are too trustworthy with him on the ball. Do you know what I mean? Like it kind of felt that he was more defensive, less on the ball. But we need somebody who wants to have possession, kind of like how Nelly wanted possession to move and all that stuff. Like I don't know why I keep going back to Moisa.
Yeah, I
I think it's Sperling's spot to win. I think he becomes the starter. Maybe after this game. I think
You think he's going to be
he's
fit
the
for it? Because I mean,
yeah. I mean, or you give him 60, and then
then you switch the out.
then you
Yeah.
switch him out. Um,
yeah, this is a natural break. There's no game this week because the international window,
yeah. So
and I
I'm
think it's
guessing they
an
come with that. And honestly, Luna too, for his
Yeah.
accounting. I think that
yeah. So I think
gets
you'll have
switched.
our premier as close to the best starting 11 as they will be able to put on the field starting the next game.
Mm.
I
Well,
think
that's good because I think that was a huge hole in why San Diego was able to get their goals and why we weren't walking away with 3 points. But it was still like nothing to be said. Like I don't want to be too negative about him, but overall, it was still a solid game by RSL.
Yeah. Yeah, and they
so.
may do that with Olatunji and Solans too.
Mm-hmm.
But I would
Solans,
make it.
man.
I think Sergey's made his case to stay on the field, and
I
honestly
It's
has
it's a Nelly
too in a way.
2024, man.
But yeah,
no, I would be willing to bet some M&Ms that Olatunji starts, Gilavogi starts, Solans will come off the bench. I think he's a great sub. I think Stein starts and next to Caliscan because Caliscan is not going anywhere.
I
That
know,
Well,
is
isn't
he's
that
going to be
weird?
part owner here soon. The way he's moving,
it's
man. I
He's
mean, he's
getting
probably
that
got
is
promoted. He's
equity.
head
He's
of
got,
soccer operations, and
dude,
yeah,
he's going to be
and
doing concessions. Like he's going to be subbed in, and then all of a sudden you're getting a hot dog, and you're like, "Why are you here?" And he's like, "Oh, It's
That'll be 30
we're playing
bucks.
offense right now. I'm gonna come back. Like he's gonna be everywhere, man.
Yeah,
Holy
he's throwing hot dogs on the little buck bath, the little thing off his chest as he's walking around. Hot
he's
dog, get your hot dog, throwing him out in the game while he's
he's making
holding
passes
down the
and selling
midfield.
cotton candy all at the same time.
But he's not doing
Oh.
anything to dispel anyone that make Pablo change his mind. What
So
about
are we doing orange slices? I feel like it's time to give out orange slices. Am
Yeah, I
I
think
in
well?
charge of that, or is that somebody else?
Well, let me ask one question. We're almost there. What were your thoughts on the three subs? Only use three subs.
oh, I don't really think we need to this game required us to do all the subs. No, I mean the movement forward was wise. It wasn't like we didn't need really fresh legs. The players on the wings were doing their jobs. Gozo was moving like crazy. Um, are you saying you wanted two extra subs, or you just think that
Well, you were talking about Griffin Dillon. I thought it would have been a good opportunity to get Moisa in um, late because he's so good with the ball and you want to keep the ball.
no,
Um,
no, I don't agree with that because he needs to be integrated into the play to understand the tempo. He's not a good sub later in the game. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't have that maturity to just all of a sudden be in it. I like him starting and then switching out. Like I think that's why he was successful because everybody's trying to figure out how the game's going to be developed and stuff.
and
But
the other one for you, Brennan, is all last season we heard about how much RSL was putting on the left back position, and they asked so much of them they can only go 60, 70 minutes. And you've got two guys in there, especially Catranis, and you got Sanabria going 90 minutes, and he is doing a lot. That may have been an interesting sub to put in Catranis for the last 10 minutes and get a little bit of a firebrand, some fresh legs over there on that side.
no. So you have to say the new formation.
That's your boy. That's your
Oh, I
boy.
know. Okay, so it is my boy. That's like if I could, we would be going on dates, we'd be hanging out, we'd be seeing
Holding
movies,
hands,
we'd be
maybe.
opening
Is
up
he your man
Pokemon cards.
crush?
Dude, we'd be opening up Pokemon packs. Like we would just me and him would be,
Live streaming him?
we might be so great for each other, we would hold hands and skip. Like
Whoa.
that's how much I like this guy.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, with this new formation, it is not asking the left back to put in as many miles as they did last year because Catranis was playing a full back position, not a wing back position. So his responsibility was backline, front line. Like that is so many miles to cover and still be effective. So Sanabria, yes, is putting in an immense amount of miles. He's doing a lot of running. However, he is a wing back, so they are more okay with having three guys take on the attack rather than making Catranis run all the way back to be that fourth guy on that line. So Sanabria, I think he's fit. He's great. He's doing all the running. He is sending in a lot of dangerous balls that are really, really good. Now, I can't really say that Catranis couldn't do the same. I think Catranis hasn't been able to show that he can do the same because it's almost like there's no point in having him do it right now when Sanabria is literally showing up and making things happen. Like, why would you all of a sudden be like, okay, Catranis, I need to see if you can do the same thing? It's like, dude, no. What's working is working right now. Don't change it until it doesn't work. Do you know what I mean? Like, it'd be stupid as a coach to just be like, okay, throw Catranis in.
But
But
if
I mean,
Catranis
I
was
miss
pushing him really hard, right, then maybe give him 10 minutes towards the end of the game.
Oh yeah, and also
Right.
this game we were still looking to score, and Sanabria was part of the reason why we were able to score, and he didn't look gassed, so why take him out? You know what I mean? Like Griffin Dillon, yeah, take him out, man. He was gassed. Spearings is obviously a really good player. I mean, well, he's only played like 2 games, but still. But yeah, Catranis is my boy. I want him in. all the time, and he's going to get some minutes because of international duties and all that stuff. And I think if he shows that he can supply the same stuff in that wingback position, I think you got options.
Yep.
All right. Now, Tyler, I turn it over to you.
All right, we're gonna do orange slices because we want to reward those people who we thought had just the best game of all time, or at least better than everybody else. Your highest rated player of the game. So, Brandt, we're gonna have you go first because you never get to go first. Who
Oh,
is
yeah.
your orange
Never.
slice? He never gets to go first. We're always jumping the gun, giving out slices left and right, like we're running the vending at Real Salt Lake. And it's
Yeah.
Brandt's turn, dang it.
Okay. Yeah. This is
No
kind of tough
pressure.
because it was a good game. So, you know what? Um, I'm gonna go with Caliscan out
You
of the
kind of
blue
sound
there.
like you just made that up out of nowhere. Like you
Yeah, I
No,
didn't
I
think
was
already
looking at it.
had this
I
pick.
thought, Gila Vogie is great. He had those shots. If one goes in, he
Let's not
he
talk
get my
about
orange
people that are
slice.
not getting orange slices. Let's talk about the one that is.
But I think Caliscan, he's really impressed me. I can see why he's in there. His soccer IQ is very, very high, and I think he can hold down the midfield. So I'm going to give him my orange slice.
Can I give you a stat to take with you in this game for Noel? Because they call him Noel, not Noel. Some people call him Noel. He calls himself Noel. So just go
My
by
name
that.
is Noel. Her name
Noel.
is Noel.
Noel. Noel. It's all one syllable. All right. So Noel, he had 30 passes. He had one assist and 100% completed passes.
He is not a
100%.
teenage dirtbag. That's for sure.
Right? How do you get 100% completed passes playing defensive midfield? That's amazing. Also, the other person on RSL that had 100% completed passes, Sprinster Rings. I'm gonna get that
you
guy's
know who it
name.
is. You
I'm
know
gonna get
who it
his
is.
name
You
right.
don't need to mess up his name on purpose. You
It's a
know
hard
who
name
it
to
is.
say, man.
Give him a respect and say his name
18 passes, all of them completed. Good job, Stein.
better. Look at that.
Yes.
Um,
All right, Brennan, who's your orange slice?
I wanted to give it to pretty much everybody, but I gotta say Sergey Solans. Um, you if you are a new fan of RSL, you became a fan this year. You meaning it was like a typical fan. You just sat in the seat, watched the games, didn't know the background, all that stuff. What happened previous year? You would think that this guy is a MLS striker, just like he's been here before, and he's completed billions of games. But then now, if you know the
Billions
stuff,
and
you're like,
billions.
So many games.
now that if you knew the stuff in the background that he was just drafted, you're like, what? How does that make any sense? And how is he so successful up top? Especially with the history of RSL's number nines. They are not the greatest. And this guy is just, he's changing games. Like he's just doing so well. I am liking him a lot.
Yeah, so does Pablo. And here's the funniest part. You guys took my two that I was gonna give it to. Honestly, I was like, I can't pick. I'm gonna have them go first, and I'll take the leftovers. And so in this case, I'm gonna go with who would have been the orange slice of the game because they would have given a red card to Dua in the first 5 minutes, and it was our boy. Xavier Gozo. I want to call him Javier Gozo, but don't worry. The announcers did that too. They called him Xavier a couple times. They messed his name up. But yes, Mr. Gozo, congratulations. You get the orange slice from me. Not just on what could have been. He was all over the place. He made good runs. He had two good shots that should have been better. He needs to sharpen that up in the box, and then he will score more goals. and we will have more success. But he is putting himself in dangerous situations. He's getting after it. He's winning balls. He's working hard. He's causing chaos for the other team. Just an overall performance. And I think between those three, and remember, Sergey had the other one cleared off the line where he megged the goalie right before halftime, right?
Oh, yeah,
And
Dua.
Dua just had his foot in the right place. Was so lucky, man. Because like his foot's 2 inches off, that hits his foot and goes in, right? Like anyway. So I think Sergey is a great choice. Good job. This segment was brought to you by
Little
no one,
Didier.
but feel free to, you know, sponsor us going forward.
All right, so those are our orange slices. You can let us know who your orange slices were for the game if you agree with us.
This just in. San Diego gave their orange slice to the ref. The ref, he got the orange slice from San Diego for not calling the obvious handball in the first few minutes of the game and keeping Dua on the field to have quite a game overall for that young buck.
Yep. Good job. So now, big takeaways from the game, right? I'll give you mine, let you guys think about yours, but three big takeaways from the game for me trying to figure out how to break it down. What are the important things or what are the things that stood out to me and to you? You can let me know. But the first thing, set pieces. RSL needs to work on them. They are getting burned on set pieces way too much. They still have some work to do. I know that's been a point of emphasis for them on defending set pieces, and it seems to still be something that they got to work on. But when you're scoring goals, that covers up a lot of mistakes. So, and then also when you're scoring goals, I give them the confidence where they can relax on these set pieces and they don't have to panic and it'll start to come. Second, soccer gods. I thought the soccer gods evened it out for this one. We talked about it with the two penalty shouts that didn't go either way. One didn't go our way and one didn't go San Diego's way. And I thought it worked out well. I thought the game, I think RSL could have, had an argument that 3 points should have been theirs, but I think a 1-1, getting a point against San Diego this early in the season was fantastic. And third for me, we just might have something. I had us predicted to finish 10th, and I didn't think we would be getting anywhere near 10 points. I thought there was a good chance we might not have any points in 5 games. And I was thinking that the first chance for victory might have been in this next game coming up against Kansas City, but that's not the case. And I've been proven wrong, and I really appreciate that. So those are my 3 thoughts, my big takeaways from the game. What about you guys?
Brennan.
My big takeaway is that Rafa Cabral is once again Moses leading us to the promised land. This guy just does not know how not to be on a highlight reel. Like San Diego should have scored. Like they had a beautiful play up into the box, gets a guy wide open, takes a left foot, and Cabral is just like, the power of God stops you. Like he is so needed. Like just a savior in that back line. So my biggest takeaway is Rafa Cabral. And then I gotta say, I second the set piece because it's something that has persisted for so long. Why hasn't it not been fixed? Why hasn't it been talked about? Why hasn't it been altered? We're still doing the same thing. And then,
Yeah. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, I thought you were
are we
done.
supposed to come up with 3?
Hey,
Yeah, if
you
you
can have
can.
as many as you
It's a
want.
test. It's a test. This is at least 3. If you want 7, that's too much.
Whoa.
3 is just fine.
Wow. That's
Okay.
a lot.
What's your last one?
The last one.
Say something
I don't
about
know.
expected goals. Come on, do it.
Oh, no, it's stupid. It's
The one thing you brought up Cabral. What I love about Cabral is that he looks pissed when the ball hits the back of the net. Like he is angry that somebody got the ball past him, and I love that.
Yeah, that competitive spirit. Not that many
Mhm.
players have it.
For
I mean,
sure.
that's what Gozo does so well. You know, like every time there's a balls in front of him, he's defending in their bubble. He's not just like the typical get in front, have him pass. He's like, no, I want to steal the ball from you. Yeah.
Alrighty. So my takeaway, first one is gotta
Your
keep the
big
tempo
takeaway.
high. Huge, ginormous,
You got to sell it, Tyler. It's our
gigantic,
big
Besides those
takeaway.
biceps,
Titanic.
kid, what's ginormous, man?
Titanic of all of the takeaways is we got to keep the tempo high. When Real Salt Lake plays with high tempo, we play really well. Every now and then, there were a couple times where we gave the ball away cheaply. Gila Vogie did it a couple times, Gozo did it a couple times, Hez did it a couple times. Like just kind of whoops. And when we reacted well and ran back hard and pressured and didn't foul, right? That's what I'm talking about. Same thing that you guys are talking about with leading to free kicks. Don't give away cheap fouls. Don't just run in and kick them. We know you're upset. We want to kick them too, but don't do it. Show discipline. Have a stoics attitude if you need to. Study stoicism and realize we're all just here to get along, but score goals and still win. But anyway, the that's my takeaway is that combination of those two things. Don't foul. And I think we're trying to find the line with the refs a lot of times, and then they're giving away free, cheap little fouls. So if we can stop doing that, then we won't give up free kick goals like that as well. Um, and then keep the tempo high when we have the ball, when we don't have the ball. Keep active, stay after it, and when we do that, I think we're much better. So those are my two enormous, gigantic, Titanic takeaways.
Brennan put his hand up.
Thank you.
Yes,
Sorry.
Brennan.
Thank you. I'm going to lower my hand now. My third takeaway is I want to know what brand of
Big
gum.
takeaway.
No, it's a big one. What
The big
brand of
takeaway.
gum Pablo is chewing on? Because
Oh boy.
that thing's lasting the entire game.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't know if he's swapping out pieces or
Is it
whatnot.
Wrigley's,
Dude.
Orbit, 5?
Every time it cuts to him, he's gone.
Yeah, he's getting after that gum.
Like just huge, huge like chomps, and that gum is staying strong. So I want to know what that brand is, and can we get an endorsement deal or something like that, because that's long lasting. That's like a Duralast peppermint gum. I don't know.
Yeah, he looks like a peppermint guy. Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, I think peppermint. Yeah.
Hmm.
All right. So those are our big takeaways from the game. We gave out our orange slices. Is it time for the? Let's make it time for. I know I asked too many questions. Time for the come on Crawley update, and it
Yeah.
is.
What's up with your coach, huh?
Oh, it is a sad, sad day in Crawleyville. The amazing Scott Lindsay, the era of Scott Lindsay with Crawley Town is over.
What? Again?
They let him go. They went up to Fleetwood.
Man.
They went up to Fleetwood and they end up losing 1-0.
To Fleetwood
And-
Mac? Oh,
Yeah.
bro, they're just
They're not even really
they're-
back,
they're
man.
not-
They're just kind of doing shows
come
every once in a
on.
while. Their number
I
9 isn't
know.
very good.
They
No, it's crazy.
they lost
Right.
to the COD Army. That's right.
What the COD
They lost to the
Army?
COD Army. The COD
Oh
COD
my
Call of
Army.
Duties?
No, the Fish. 1-0, and that was it. 6 wins in 39 games after he returned. I think that was the record. Scott Lindsay is so tragic. What could have been. Crawley Town is a case of what could have been. We get promoted, and then 10 of the 11 starters from the promoted side in League One get sold off, and we get immediately relegated out of League One. But Scott came back and had them fighting. And he almost saved them from relegation last season, but this season it started out, he they put together a team, and I think maybe he had a lot of decisions in the who was going to be on the roster instead of using the WAGME um, stat kind of process. And then they went and bought all of his old players in the January window, and then they just haven't put it together. They just not
Yeah.
have put it together. They are so missing. The one player that they should have brought in that they didn't brought in is that Liam Kelly,
Yeah.
Brennan's favorite. They they don't have a midfielder. They don't have a captain in the midfield, so they're always coming around. They look like RSL last season, going around the back, up the left side, up the right side, and it's just such a shame. It could have been a great story with Scott Lindsay because he does when he has going to get they got it going. They play. He plays beautiful soccer, right? And it's
Yeah.
just tragic. So yeah, so I left my black armband home. I don't know. I really am. I really kind of was disappointed and kind of sad. I was rooting for Scott. I think we've got 7 games left, 8 games left. We're 1 point. We're the Tottenham Hotspur of League Two at the moment.
Oh,
One
boy.
point above the relegation zone. It's going to be a freaking fight. And I don't know what I'm going to do if they're still going to be my team, but knock on wood, we
Oof.
got to hold on for dear life, not get relegated out of the AFL. That could be very damaging to the club. Just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Your
they're not going
town
to
going
lose.
down. You don't want that.
They're not going to lose, a quarter of $1 billion like Tottenham will if they get relegated, but it'll hurt. It'll absolutely hurt.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's got to be tough to be a Crawley fan. Well, now that we're done with that, let's get to the Let's Go Wrexham. So let's go Wrexham. They decided to beat Sheffield, so that was really good. Sheffield United 2-1. They're in 7th place right now, not too far off. 63 points. I mean, one win can get them right behind or in line with Hull City with
For the play-in. Yeah.
our former tree. Um,
Former man crush.
Former man crush. Hopefully he's doing great. But yeah, I mean, Wrexham's looking good in the championship, where more talented soccer players are. And you just gotta say, Wrexham is just a quality club. And they just know what they're doing. You know what I mean? They've kept the same coach. They've obviously got the right guy doing it. They bought the right players. They didn't use
They spent a lot of money.
well, yeah, they did spend a lot of money, but they're making the money work. But anyways, I don't really care too much about Wrexham. I just,
I know you're just twisting the knife. I appreciate that.
yeah, no problem. Just, it makes it so it hurts less
Sure.
in
Sure.
the picture.
Yeah. Well, and in other news, Arsenal in a cup final lost.
What?
Oh,
Yeah.
they
Which
lost.
cup final?
They
The
came in
Carabao
second.
Cup.
No, hold on.
I
Let
know.
me check on
I
that.
know.
What are the
there it
odds
is.
of Arsenal
Arteta-
coming in second?
I
How
don't
many
know
times have
what
we
it was.
won
I watched the
second?
second half of that game, and Manchester City just dominated Arsenal in that game. Like I
Which
haven't
cup was
seen
it?
the Carabao Cup.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they had a chance to win 4 cups. Now it's down to 3 because Man City won that one.
But
Yep.
if they
Speaking
get
of
second in
Can't
all
Buy
of
Me
those too, that's
Love,
just
right?
Okay. So it looks like Google
Can't
says
buy
that
me
Arsenal has
cups.
been in the second place 11 times.
Only
That's
11? Oh.
Only 11. Oh, that's for the Premier League. That's not for all the other cups. That's
Yeah, that's way too much research. You could just leave it.
Oh,
Or
okay.
you can twist the knife. Either way.
It's okay. That's why I switched to tennis. It's all solo. It's not about you.
Right. Yeah.
all right.
Very
So
cool.
lots of great things going on with RSL. Not so great with Crawley. Brennan's
One
kind of like
kinda-
ignoring Manchester United, and Arsenal's doing well.
No, Man U's not doing too bad. I mean, they're doing okay, but it's like fight the power. You know what I mean? Like I don't support.
Them Glazers.
Yeah, I don't support it at all. But
And one kind of fun note for the league, we just signed Antoine Griezmann to an MLS contract.
oh yeah,
He's going to play
Orlando.
for Orlando.
Do you know how much though? Because he's got something on the table too.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm
Like
sure it was
he
a
was
lot of
in
money.
jeans and a purple shirt at the stadium, so I'm pretty sure that means they signed him. But
It probably
I
comes
could be
with
Yeah, I
a
wrong.
think they announced
passport,
it.
and that's what they really want is having a passport. Holy cow!
Oh boy, that's the hardest part.
Yeah.
Well, he is French, so
Oui, oui.
He
but
doesn't
he's
shave his
also
armpits.
Spanish too. Did you ever hear that whole thing? He was like, yeah, anyway, it's a really cool story of him. He grew up in Spain and France and was back and forth and was a little kid for a long time and didn't get his man body till he was much older than he probably should have been.
Man,
But like all of a sudden at 19 he grew and finally like the French team gave him a chance. And so anyway, he got on and it's a cool story. Check it out.
Well, what's the
So
technology now? You can order your band body sooner. I mean, Amazon will
yeah,
get there
absolutely.
next
yeah.
day, if you've got the right.
Next day air.
Yeah.
Hey,
Timu's got it
turns
like
out you still
so
can't
You
fast.
don't want to you
you
don't want to
can't
get
do
the man
that.
body from Temu. You never know what's going to happen there.
Yeah, it's a
That's
That
true.
different deal.
that's danger.
That's how lady boys show up.
That's danger, Will Robinson. So that's our
Will
thoughts on the
eyebrow.
game. That's our
No
thoughts
idea what
on the
you guys
game.
just
Tyler's
said.
eyebrows. What?
You guys are weird. Okay. Thanks,
On
everybody.
the draw from San Diego, RSL San Diego. Be sure to follow us on all the social media. We really appreciate that. Come to the watch parties. We know that Gary down there at the break in Murray, he wants to be an RSL hangout. He's been very impressed with the RSL fans that came and done a great job supporting the team. It's been a lot of fun. Smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, especially on YouTube. Do that for us. We'd appreciate that. And anywhere you see us on social media, follow, interact. We'd appreciate it. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.